What up, fam? Oh, guess what time it is, baby? A2D Wednesday nights. We got it all in store for you. Playoff start, Eagles Sunday. Oh, baby, it's time. It's time for a Super Bowl run, and let's talk about it. We don't got to say anything more.
I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
Welcome in, everybody. This is A2D Wednesday nights, only on A2D Radio. Every Wednesday, we're brought to you by our doc, Make Them Yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, location in Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. As always, Greg Mlakovic, No Eaton, Mikey Buckets. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, welcome in. Sixers, Wizards, a little recap. All right, good win tonight. They were up big, and at one point they had 10 points in the fourth quarter. They were able to respond a little bit with nobody playing. So we're at this point now with the Sixers. We were really talking about a big week, and we've got guys out. We'll talk about it. We got more important things on the docket right now, and that's Eagles, Packers preview, predictions, players of the game. We got everything in store for you tonight. So let's go. Let's go right into our poll question. Jalen Hurts returned to practice has removed any lingering concerns you have for the Packers games. Agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcast, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow. Most importantly, join the conversation tonight, baby. Let's go. Let's go. And you know what? I'm not as rowdy as I probably would usually be. Because you're more rowdy when, like, you're not supposed to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? When you, like, snuck your way in and you're like, hey, we got it. Right? We're expected to be here. Right? Like, let's be clear about this conversation, at least coming from me. From where I personally was before the start of this season, that this was a 13-win team. This is what I thought they were. Right? They exceeded those expectations, going one above that. But this was an NFC title game, Super Bowl or bust type conversation with the amount of talent on this roster. And the big conversation was if healthy. They are. They are. And their roster is exactly what a lot of us thought it would be outside of the defense. I don't think anybody thought best in football type, but we had the conversation. If we can be a top 10, we're good enough. Right. And we exceeded those expectations too. So this is a juggernaut, man. And like I said this back in 2017 a little bit. We'll say it again. But it's like walk and talk with a swagger about yourself. Confidence is real, and especially when we're used to losing in a way. Not as much anymore, right? But we're not hoisting Lombardis and Stanley Cups and NBA championships or anything, right? World Series, we're not really hoisting a lot. But we've won a little bit more than we're used to. Yep. But we gotta believe it too. And the other side of it, you can't let this group off the hook. They can't get let off the hook for any excuses. So Jalen Hurts practicing, I agree with it because I didn't have any concerns anyway. And that was probably the only little one, but it wasn't even big because like I said, I felt like he was good the whole time anyway, because they weren't going to play him. So knowing that, they're just going to keep the roster spot open, and then he has to, he obviously has to practice and then get cleared again, or however the hell they work it out. But there's a lot that goes on with that. But they were just keeping the roster spot open because it was really just film study, working out a little bit. Hey, who's in there being like, as long as it's not on camera or what he's doing. Yeah, right. He can sort of do whatever he wants. So I don't know. I didn't have any concerns to begin with. I sure as hell don't now. So giddy up. What do you guys say?
I say disagree only because I was never concerned about Hurts. There's no world where Hurts isn't playing in this game. So I wasn't worried at all. I think the only concern is how healthy is Jordan Love. But the way our defense is playing, who knows if that's even a concern. But my concern more lies with him. Is he really hurt? Is he not hurt? But Jalen Hurts, there was no world in which he didn't play. So there was no concern ever for me. That hit was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. So I'm like, what do we got? A situation? You guys gonna be he's out for the season. Like that's how it would work for us too. We're 14-2. We're one of the big bad wolves, and we end up guy doesn't play or something. That'd be us.
I agree to the poll. I have no doubt we're going to be absolutely fine. Jalen will be ready to go. He's well rested. He got the rest he definitely needed, and but I have going back. I know it's been thrown around in the area media. Whether you give Saquon a shot to go for the record. Obviously, in my estimate, in my eyes, I think they did the right thing by sitting Saquon, letting him rest. So he'll be ready to go. Jalen will be ready to go. This offensive line got much needed rest. I see no reason why they won't dominate the Green Bay Packers this Sunday. I really feel that way. I mean, there's no excuses. This is a loaded football team, #1 defense in the NFL, guys. We have arguably the most talented offense in the league, top to bottom. There's no excuses. You're at home late Sunday afternoon. Go get the job done.
Let's go.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree, disagree. Like, I'm with you, Mike. Like, I didn't have any concerns. I mean, I think Tanner McKee or even Kenny Pickett would have beaten the Packers this week. But, as it continued to linger on, it didn't no concern, but the lack of playing time the last 3 weeks was a bit of concern, but I'm ultimately fine. And if you notice, right before they announced Jalen was practicing, they had to cut Ian Book, right, Tom? So, like, going back to the roster spot and, like, keeping it open before they could even technically activate him, they had to open up a roster spot. So, it kind of does go in hand with what we talked about, last Wednesday, last Sunday, right?
Well,
just how it was more or less just a game, right?
Yeah.
Because,
Shady brought it up. Sorry, Greg. Shady
Yeah.
brought it up like yesterday, right? That I got people inside there. He's been doing his thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, that comes out after we were essentially just we didn't know that, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
act like
yeah,
we
yeah.
knew that, but we just put 2 and 2 together and was like, listen, this isn't like the guy. If the guy was that bad, that would get out.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he was that bad, there's no way that doesn't.
He's
get
in a
out.
bubble, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He's walking around in a bubble suit, hasn't gotten out of bed in 3 weeks. But yeah, no, I absolutely. I mean, I have no concerns on the game. And it did. So I'll agree. It did solidify when Jalen started practicing today. It served everything I needed to see.
Yeah, I agree, guys. The one thing I'm gonna stop this excuse train that's flowing on in this goddamn chat right now. We're gonna shut some shit down tonight, right? Knock off the rust to me. Leave it all in the chamber. You understand? There ain't no reason to even type that shit out. And I'll tell you why. Because you're talking about a guy that's played how many games this year? We ain't talking about being out 5 weeks to start the season and you don't know your personnel. How long has Jalen Hurts played with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert? Okay, miss me there. Right. So how much longer we want to go? This guy didn't miss 3 months. He missed 3 weeks. Let's keep this 100 here. God damn it. We're already making the excuse for a professional, for a veteran. Holy shit. On a 14-2 team. 14-3. Sorry about that. I'm always, my bad. I'm always used to 16. All right, my fault. But, like, come on, guys. Russ from what?
Totally
We
agree.
started well all year. So,
I was going to say, we haven't started well all year.
I was just about to say that, though. I totally agree. I think that's the only concern is they don't start hot. So if it's a real slow start to a playoff team, that's the only thing that could bite you. But I don't even think it will. We've seen them come back from it time and time again.
Yeah, okay, you're down 10-0. Welcome what we did all year. So you want to talk about that you don't get out of your slump in that game. That's a different conversation. But if you're asking, I think they're going to come up guns blazing. I don't know. But just because we think they won't doesn't mean they can't. So I don't like the Russ conversation when we're talking about a goddamn veteran. Holy smokes, guys. Like, the guy's played, what 14 of the games? playing all 14 of the games. Like, Russ, what? You act like he was on the couch. That's what those kind of comments mean to me. Like, he didn't leave his couch. He's got the big old, sectional. He's sprawled out and
He's hanging out with Fletcher Cox.
Yeah, he's with Fletcher and the ladies and then whatever. All right. Come on, guys. Like, we're just here to say, hey, I got the building excuse for my quarterback at the end of the game. I don't give a shit about Russ. Like, he's practicing today. Russ knocked off. Like, this is muscle memory, folks. I hate to break the news to you. You know when you're rusty? When you haven't done something in months. Hence, wintertime athletes for baseball. When you get kids who haven't done anything for 2.5 months, that's when you get rust. And they're amateur athletes. And that rust is knocked off for 1 or 2 times of practice. So a baseball player in spring training losing a baseball, his first at bat, like what? Then that's the greatest hitter of all time? Because he didn't have rust? You gonna play good or you gonna play bad?
I will say, if you're the Packers, you're just gonna stack the box. That's all you're gonna do. So this will come down, I think, to Smith and Brown and Hurts and the air game. Because you're just going to stack the box. I'm letting anybody but – if I'm any opposing team playing the Philadelphia Eagles, that bulletin reads anybody but Saquon Barkley. It just does. So I do think it's not even a concern. I mean, really, A.J. Brown's so good, he could throw a bad ball and still catch it.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm in for that game plan because that feeds into what we're good at, right? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That feeds into another part of the offense that we can do without problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's fine. I wish they would stack the box because Saquon's still going to break one. And Jalen's still going to break one, And Lane said Jalen looked great today. Lane said Jalen looked great. Sharp.
I mean, what's he going to say? He looks like shit.
Well, I hear you, right? But that's, we've been reading between the T-lines the last 3 weeks, right?
Well,
Lane comes out, he's like, he was horrible.
Wasn't good enough today. Now, if there was a guy in the locker room,
they should go back and ask
that, it would be him. If there was a guy in the locker room who would say that, it would probably be him. But he's pretty.
Yeah, Don, the Lions fan. You guys going to be rusty with your week off? You guys are playing golf this week.
Yeah, I love it. I love the rust. I love the dryer sheet rust comment. Like, it's the biggest dryer sheet comment of all time. It means, like, I don't have a pulse, and I'm just going to throw things out there. Like, okay, he's going to be rusty. He's going to be rusty. Guy been playing football his whole life. It's guaranteed rust. He's been rusty in the first quarter the entire season outside of the Packers game. Like, what do you think? It's just all of a sudden?
And even the Packers game, he turned the ball over. So he was bad there, too.
Oh, man. Like,
but this all goes... But this all goes back to, even if he is rusty, we still have the number 1 defense in football, right? So as we showed in that week 1 game, and as we've shown throughout the entire season, when we do start slow or start lethargic, our defense locks it down and keeps us in the game to give us a chance, right? You go back to the Packers game, 2 turnovers in their field. What on their side of the field? What did we do? We gave up 2 field goals and left us in the game before our offense was able to start making plays, right?
Well,
You go back even that St. Louis game, right? Or the St. Louis, the Los Angeles Rams, right? They ran right down the field. We got the fumble, right? They came right down again. They did score a touchdown, but instead of being 14-0 or 10-0, it was only 7. And then go back to Cincinnati. Burrow looked like Burrow of old and just carved us up on that first drive. And everybody sat there and thought, oh boy, we're in for it. And then he couldn't do diddly the rest of the game because our defense knows how good they are. And the defense, Tommy, to your point, is walking around with that swagger with the chip on their shoulder and that swagger in their step, right? Because our defense can absolutely shut them down, even if our offense is lethargic, because we've been there all year.
Not only that, it's the defense's ability to make in-game adjustments. And, it's been and it starts at the top with the defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio. I mean, all year he's out. If you go coordinator versus coordinator, he has outmatched every offensive coordinator he has gone up against this year.
Yep.
There's no doubt. I mean, Fangio's ability to get the most, he's able to squeeze every ounce of talent out of these guys. And most of them are pretty damn talented to begin with. I mean, and, you credit Howie with going up, you drafting Cooper, drafting Quinyon Mitchell. I mean, they've been studs this year, guys. I mean, hell, I don't care. I'd hand them both Rookie of the Year trophies.
I'm sure you would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all know you would.
Just saying.
Hold on a second.
This defense has been absolutely lights out.
Can you shut up for a second and show me that jacket?
The original.
My goodness. I knew
relic.
it.
Turn the other way. Turn the other way. Everything's backward on camera.
No, it's fine.
There you go.
I might fall over if I turn too much.
I hear you. That's a relic.
Yeah, you could probably sell that, make a lot of money. But don't say you can't. This is my favorite comment. In the playoffs, you can't start slow and expect to win. What?
Sure you can.
Whether you end fast, whether you end strong. I don't understand this concept. It is a 4-quarter game. When we talk about other sports, we talk about what you do. When we talk about basketball, we talk about, hey, I can turn on with 8 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go. I'm going to know who the best players are. Okay? You got to keep it. You got to stay in striking distance, right? Starting slow, you're down 21-0. Okay. MB, you can't expect to win that game. But you're down 10-0. You're telling me in today's NFL and with this offense, you don't expect to still win that game? Oh. Woo. I met a lot of first-time watchers tonight. You know what I mean? A lot of first-timers in the game of football, in the game of sports. Right? I just don't understand it. And I don't understand this, that it's not a 4-quarter game. What happens if you are down 17-7 at half and you do 20-7 from then on out? That happens all the time, guys.
Yeah.
The greatest quarterbacks of all time, the ones that are on the Mount Rushmores. We're talking about drives, baby. We're talking about big time wheelbarrow, big sacks, the biggest sacks in the country, and it didn't matter. That's when they shine. And I'll be honest with you. We got one of those types of guys here that we can say a lot of different things, right, about how he looks at times and different things. But the one thing we can never run from when it comes from Jalen Hurts, he's a winner.
Mm-hmm.
He's a winner. We've had a lot of guys with higher skill sets in this city. Weren't winners like he was. Some things I always tell guys, the metrics don't always matter, man. The metrics don't always matter. They just don't. Some guys just get calmer in those moments. And they'll do whatever it takes to win. And we've watched him on drives do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he could have 185 yards passing on Sunday, yet still have a huge impact on that game and lead us to a victory.
Agreed. He can go rush for 70.
He doesn't need to throw 350 for us to be effective and for him to be effective.
No, that's actually not our MO. Our MO is more him around 220.
Yep.
220, 250 maybe, but we run the ball at the second highest clip in the National Football League. I mean, all right, what are we talking about, Bill? Any of you concerned that they hold Hurts back from taking all? Oh my God. Bill, let me tell you something. If they're not all in the win and we're having this, if anybody in the NovaCare, hey, give me in my office. I'm going to need you to not take big hits in this game. That person should be fired immediately. We don't expect anybody to take big hits. But if you're saying that they're going to hold him back from running,
I don't think he needs to run. Just hit play actions. You can just run play actions.
I love this comment. I don't believe in Hurts. Okay. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Glad you were at least, you're at least able to make the correction there on Tom and not Tim Arnone. Either's probably doable, but I don't know when I've ever didn't believe in Hurts besides like draft night. And there was times, but why can't you change opinions on guys? And I never questioned his ability to win. That was the whole conversation coming out of college, or his ability to be a leader. I questioned some intangibles, and I wasn't the only one. But a lot of guys won't run. Hey, this is where you're going. You can fucking miss me tonight, Anthony. All right? Should I call you Tony? Should I call you Tone? Is it Tone?
Oh, Tony G. Tony G.
Hey, Tony G. This is where you can miss me tonight. All right? Through all of it, I'm able to say he proved me wrong. I'm able to be a man about it and say, okay, I was wrong about the intangibles. How many other people have you listened to, Tone? All right, that will never admit it, and they'll find things wrong with him still, all the time. Is there flaws? Yeah, I think there's some flaws, but does he make up for those flaws? He absolutely does.
Sure.
So you can kiss my ass. All right. Come back to Earth. Hey, Tone, I've been on Earth, man. Where you at? Tone? You sitting on a pier? You got a lot of fish in front of you? You in Seattle? You at the fishing market? You really enjoying yourself out there? 12th man? 12 fishes? Knock it off. Good to have you. Hey, Drew.
Oh, man. Tom.
Hey,
that was my cousin. I told him to bust your balls.
Oh,
you guys.
Tony, what are we doing? Is it set up?
Hey, Tony, don't forget to hit the like button on the way out.
I'm crying. Kiss my ass, Tony J.
You got me. I'm
the setup.
Oh, look at that. I would this one. Yeah,
He's still going.
This would have set me off. I'm glad I know now.
Mikey Bucks is gonna have a hell of a lesson day tomorrow now.
I couldn't hold it, dude.
Oh. Tony G with all the fishes.
Oh, I'll plug him. I'll give him a free plug. Brought to you in part by Often Enough Marine Detailing.
Oh my God! Look at that. This is full circle.
He's the real doc.
the real. Oh, I'm ready for playoff football. Yep, Jose, we're ready. Oh, that's a great one. That was a great time. Great time had by all. Not the blood pressure, but everything else. I'm gonna need some fish. I'm gonna eat some fish now, don't you know what I mean?
Yeah, get your omegas there, Tim. I mean, Tom.
Fish pills.
You use a little fish oil right now.
Little fish oil.
God.
We got score predictions.
Yeah.
I think it. I don't. It depends how healthy Love is. I mean, we could speculate if this, if that, but if Love is healthy,
they got no Watson. They're gonna have a tough time pushing the ball down the field.
Yeah, but they're weird. Like Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, like they're the best receivers in the league one week, and then they're the worst receivers you ever seen the next week.
They're just guys. They're nothing compared to Smith and Brown.
Well,
I hear you.
They play into what we do a little bit too, right? Because they don't have the true number one wide receiver. A lot of guys with 800, guys with 700, guys with 500 yards. They don't have that number one weapon at their disposal. And I think we match up well across the board with teams, which makes us really strong. So what plays to their strength sort of plays to our strength. I told you what the biggest thing you can look at going into this game. It's Josh Jacobs. It's bigger than their passing game. It's bigger than anything else. That's the game right there. They got to come in pissed off and hungry All right, I'm not no hungry dog because we ain't no damn dog. All right, and he sure as hell don't want to be a hungry cat because that's just awkward. All right, like who? Like I'm not gonna do this tonight, like with the cat people out there. But you know what I mean, go pet her. All right, go pet her. You know the type of guys with the cat. Their profile pictures just 4 cats. You know, nothing against you. Nothing against you. Buy a couple. I don't even want to talk about. Buy a couple pit bulls. But yeah. Sorry to all the cat people. I'm apologetic. Oh, good. Oh, Josh. Jeez.
I'll say 28-24.
Oh God, we're doing this.
I mean, what you think it's 2 possession game?
Yeah.
Two possession scores?
Might be 3.
Oh my God.
I'll go now. 34-21 Eagles. I'm not changing from Sunday. I haven't even flinched. You understand? And I got Tyson throwing fake punches, and I'm just like not flinching. And they don't have Tyson. So, but they have Jacobs. And we got to control the running game. Obviously, I believe we'll run the football, but because that's what we do. But that's our big problem in this football game because we don't stop the run at like a high elite clip.
Yeah.
We don't. We do not.
It's the one place this defense can be had. You're right.
We do not. So that's where you would preferably like a fast start in a game like this. So you make them more one-dimensional. So if there was a time this year that you would prefer that 10-0 start, it would probably be in this football game. But it's not the end-all be-all because I thought we did a pretty good job with him in week 1, and our defense wasn't nearly as good as it is now.
Yes.
Like, he's going to get his, right? But it just can't be – he can't be gashing us all day, right? So, 34-21.
I got, say, 27-10.
Not as outrageous as I thought you were going. 10 points for the Packers is kind of a little bit outrageous, but I like where your head's at. I think I was
dominates.
I was 30-17 on Sunday, and I think I'm still there. 30-17.
Yeah, I think we're gonna. There's a lot of reasons in why. Tom, why do you think it's a 2-possession game? Well, we're rested and we were already healthy for the most part,
Yes.
right?
I mean, that's
I just think that week off this time of year when you haven't had a bye week since week 5, and you played that much football, I think it's so important on the body, and I think that gives Saquon an extra burst. That gives these offensive linemen an extra burst. I think it goes all across the board. You know, it makes defensive linemen, your bumps and your bruises don't hurt anymore, right? There's little things that just give you that extra boost, right? The muscle, the core muscle stuff, and all the stuff that gets a little magic heel going with the bye week. That stuff freaking matters.
for sure.
It matters. So I think that's why.
My fault. Jordan Love was a limited participant today in practice, so that's obviously a huge impact on the score prediction. But I could totally see it being like Brock Purdy when we played the Niners way back when, and we just drilled him, knocked him out of the first half. He was out. I could just see one hit and him being done. Which you don't wish that injury on anybody, but Sunday at 4:30, that goes out the window.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking for a career-ending injury, but,
So something day to day.
Yeah, if he sprains an ankle and, can't continue, I can't feel all that bad.
I think this is a big AJ Brown game.
Could
My
be.
fault, Greg.
No, you're good. No, I
think Brown goes nuts.
One of them is going to go nuts, right? Because Tyler, we talked about on Sunday, right? Jair's out, right? We know that he's on IR or IL or whatever they're calling it, right? So we do know that they are weakened in that secondary. So I don't even necessarily think, Mike, it's going to be just a singular, go off game. It could be a couple guys in the passing game to open up the run late, right? I think this might be a game where you might see early passing to kind of open up the game and open up the lanes so that way they can't stack the box as you mentioned earlier, right? Kind of like going back to the old Dougie days, and days or even games that we like to start this year, right? We like to start, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, we like to start the games throwing the football and seeing if we can open up some big plays early, and then we hand the ball to our closer in the second half.
How about an old school Mike Vick, Deshaun Jackson, just go ball? First play from scrimmage. Just give me a go ball.
Talk dirty to me.
If it gets underthrown, you flop, and it's an automatic PI. That's just how it works. Find the one-on-one, give me a go ball.
To our newfound weapon, Jahan Dotson.
We are.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there. But
Can you imagine? And then Hurts looks right at the camera. He's like, "Yeah, I'm all right." How's that for Rust? How's that for Rust?
Tony D. Tony G.
my only problem.
Rust that, Tony G.
My only issue with that is, like, I'll never forget, the Deuce Staley run, essentially that first drive against Tampa Bay all the way back in the day.
Yeah.
Untouched.
Places electric, and we.
But it was all downhill from there.
It was all downhill from there. So.
Don't remind me.
Talk about dreams and nightmares, right? Talk about
Rondé Barber still gives me nightmares. He's still
dreams and nightmares
running down the sideline. That bastard.
Well, we've been curious about the first 15 plays all year, Jose. You know what I mean? That ain't nothing new. I don't even think it's the play designs or any of that, or the play calls at the time. It's simple execution. We haven't got out into much of a rhythm, at least with our passing game.
Yep.
And I know you want to sort of do what the box tells you to do. In terms of, like, right, if we're stacking the box, we probably want to throw the football. But I would say going into this weekend, I would really make it a point of emphasis to really rely on the run game early and try to set up play action from it, and then try to get yourself into a rhythm throwing the football through that way, instead of trying to come out and force the ball downfield and sort of force the football in general. Come out and play to your strength. Right? Everybody can know you're running the ball. It doesn't mean you can't break 170. And that's going to be my player of the game, Saquon Barkley.
Love it.
I think we're talking $150 and 2 tutties. I think you get a fresh back, and it could be dangerous.
He could. Because you also, to add to that, right, you also might get a little angry Saquon too, right? Because he probably wanted to play, even though it was the right decision to not to, right? So you get a little angry Saquon and be like, hey, I need 100 yards. I'm going to get it in the first half. You know what I mean? I know it's not going to count, but I'm going to prove that I am the best running back. I'm going to hold that record, even if it doesn't truly count. I'm going to prove in a playoff game, in a more meaningful game, that I am the man. So you could get a really angry Saquon, which is going to be to our benefit.
Yeah, the way Jacobs and Barkley are running this year, this game could be an hour and a half. The shoe clock could just be on. You know what I mean? Get fired up, we're going to blink, and the game's going to be over.
Run the ball all the way to New Orleans.
Yeah. That was the way the Eagles game this past week felt. Like, it was an hour in, and you're like, 2-minute warning. I'm like, it's only 2:00. What is going on? But there was no penalties. The clock was just run.
Yeah, let's get everybody out of here.
Yeah, we'll get everybody out before traffic.
On the flip side of the Rust thing,
the officials will want to be part of the game, once the playoffs start.
Yeah.
They like their air time.
For sure.
On the flip side of the Rust thing, I think it was big for Goddard last week. Like, just getting those reps, because I feel like he's been so up and down. Like, he's been injured, obviously, but he's just been so up and down. I just feel like that was big too, because he's a name we never really use. We talk about Saquon, Hurts, AJ, Devontae, but I mean, Goddard could absolutely be an X factor in any given game, any given Sunday. So I think those reps for him last week were huge.
I agree. For him, you need the rust because he's always missing games. veteran or not. I mean, he's out all the time.
Yeah.
So I told him just to keep the IR spot open for him because he was coming back soon, but hopefully not for this year.
And to that point, I wouldn't mind 2 tight end sets either because Grant Calcaterra has played well in his absence.
Well,
As Jesse just commented,
that's
he has.
exactly where I was going to go. Grant Calcaterra. Here's a dark horse for you. My player of the game.
He'll be our Corey Clement of the Super Bowl in 2017. Corey Clement had 2 touchdowns at 100 yards, and then now he's even in the league. He did that in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
there's always a random dark horse.
Corey's out of football.
Yeah, not shocking, and not
Big
shocking.
Super Bowl.
Oh, I know.
I was saying there's always a random guy.
No. You're not wrong. Just him underneath you, just piggybacking that into Grant Calcaterra is his player of the game is what's got me. Yes. I mean, he's got a million guys to choose from. He's literally got the greatest show on grass to choose from, and that's
I hear you.
If Calcaterra is our player of the game, we didn't have a good game.
Yeah, like, do you hear me?
We had a pretty bad game if Calcaterra is our player of the game.
I mean, I'm sure on FanDuel he's very long odds for an anytime touchdown, but
not that odd.
How about this?
Not
If Lane Johnson plays the game start to finish, he was the player of the game. Because we don't win if he's not playing.
Well, yeah, that's factual.
Just one of them guys. I feel like he never gets picked. How about that? Lane Johnson, player of the game.
Yeah, it's just tough to magnify what his best game.
I know.
Well, listen, that entire offensive line has been awesome this year. And how about Mailata not that it matters all that much, not that they play a real game anymore, but how about Mailata not making the Pro Bowl? How ridiculous is that?
And I've been real happy with Cam Jurgens. I mean, Howie Roseman again, just
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just
Cam's
absolutely
been awesome.
Nailed that draft pick, and he got him at the perfect time. Kelsey had him under his wing, and now he's flying.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he's been awesome, and it's not very often that you potentially find a guy who is picked to be the understudy. And I'm not going to say he's as good, but is trending in a direction to be as good as the guy who picked him. Right? You very rarely find that true replacement, and it seems like so far early on that we have found that guy.
Yeah, you never see that. You rarely see Hall of Famers, first ballot guys getting replaced when they retire, and in the waiting is a guy who's really good.
Yeah,
it just doesn't really happen. It happens in Green Bay. Like, they're actually used to that at the quarterback position.
Yeah,
like most places that never happens. So it's pretty crazy that it's actually at the quarterback position when we're talking about the Packers that they've continuously have had franchise quarterbacks for decades now, and the next guy's always in the waiting.
Is there?
It's a real cute.
Yeah, hopefully Jurgens doesn't even get to go to the Pro Bowl, but heck of an honor to get the nod. First Pro Bowl nod.
Definitely a heck of an honor, and hopefully he does not need to go. I mean, Kenny could break one. I mean, Kenny's probably, maybe a more risky player of the game than Grant Calcaterra.
For sure. 100% he is.
Tony's just redeeming himself tonight.
He's back.
You know what always cracks me up when we have a blocking situation, like third down, for example. They haven't done it as much recently, but then Gainwell's your blocker. Like, do we see what Saquon Barkley deadlifts and bench presses? And
they say Kenny's a third down back. However ridiculous that sounds, they claim that Kenny Gainwell is their third down back.
Yeah, because he's a better blocker.
And they're passing back. So,
crazy.
Like, to your point, think about that, right? Like, I know that, but you have arguably the best running back in football right now. And then on one of the most important downs, he's not on the field.
Yeah, I never believed
he is.
that.
Yeah, he's not old. He's not never on the field.
Always, yes.
Well, that's the point. Saquon is a 3-down back, but in today's NFL, they're not always saying on the field for three downs. Doesn't mean they don't, because he does, right? We've watched it, so it doesn't mean he doesn't. Kenny does pick up blocks well.
He absolutely does.
Not that Saquon doesn't, again, because that was the whole point of Saquon being able to go for 2,000 yards this year before the season started, was that he is a 3-down back. And here we are.
Yeah.
But Kenny is good at pass protection, and he's probably maybe a little bit better out of the backfield catching the football too. Just a little bit more short-handed. I'm not saying he's better. You know what I mean? I'll make this very clear. But
no, I just think you could throw him a hospital ball and you don't give a shit. I think that's all it comes down to. You could throw him a hospital ball, Kenny Gainwell, and it doesn't matter. You can't throw Saquon Barkley a hospital ball. I think that's what it comes down to. I don't think there's a world that he's a better catcher or receiver. We're basing it off of that one Falcons hiccup.
No, I've seen him
run real wheel routes to the end zone time and time again. Barkley.
But he does have a little wiggle to him, Kenny, right? He does have a way of getting past that initial defender and picking up yards that you don't think he's going to get.
He definitely has. He definitely has the first guy miss ability.
Yeah,
and he runs low to the ground too.
Kenny's been a real big key to our team this year, and his entire career.
Yeah, Kenny's
his entire career with us. He's been really good for us.
Really good football player.
Yeah,
and I think that's why he gets playing time. To that point, sure. Buckets. I think your point's valid of the hospital ball. I think there's a little bit that I'm not saying like a better receiver than him. I don't like you can line Saquon up anywhere and he go run routes for you because that athletic, right? I just think like Kenny might be a little bit more short-handed. But I don't know that to be factual. That's just me like spitballing. That doesn't mean Saquon has like bricks for hands here. You know what I mean? He doesn't got concrete hands. Yeah, he can catch the football.
I just think it's funny. Some of the spots we use him in is funny to me. Like anytime we do a tush push, it should 110% of the time be Barkley behind him pushing. You see those legs, they're tree trunks. I don't need Kenny Gainwell back there pushing for extra yards.
I think sometimes it's a throw. Everybody's a mixologist, right? Everybody trying to mix something up and throw somebody off and look what you didn't expect this. So I don't get too caught up in like when guys are on the field, as long as they're getting their snaps they're meant to get that week. I just can't focus on it enough.
I do think this is vintage AJ Brown. I think this is an AJ Brown game. Like I think he goes ballistic. Hurts has always been an arrogant kind of guy, to where it's like, remember when he sat down in the press conference? He's like, so that's what you wanted to say, right? All this talk about Russ and he's been out, and this and that. I think he airs it out. I think Brown goes nuts. Oh, we're not friends. We don't like each other. How's 202 touchdowns sound?
I love where your head's at. So he just
no Jair Alexander.
He just says fuck the playbook and the play calls, and he just goes rogue.
I think he does. And I mean, AJ Brown, you could just do 8-yard slants the whole time, 6-yard slants. Just keep it going. Barkley gets the rest, the 2-3 yards. You keep moving the chains.
Like I said earlier, talk dirty to me. Like let's live there for sure.
Yeah, let's live there. Now we gotta hope he's on time, and he's gotta be willing to pull the trigger. You know what I mean?
Well, there's your bugaboo right there, right, Tom?
And I'm a hater here. Tommy the hate hat. It's on
but
now.
That's such a luxury though to have, right? Well, we know you're a hater. We know.
Tommy hate hat.
But it's such a luxury to have, though, right? At any time, you're an AJ slant away from a first down from a big gain because it's there all the time.
Well, how many times on like 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 6 that AJ was, able to keep the chains moving? And it's not only. I mean, him just like Devontae, they can break.
Yeah, multiple guys that can do it. Yeah.
It's
AJ's is so much, and again, this isn't a shot, but AJ is just so much more effective because he's bigger, right? He's wider, he's stronger.
Yeah.
But Devontae can absolutely just get as open just in pure route running. You know what I mean? AJ's just gonna wiggle the little guy off his back and then take it for 20.
And despite Devontae only being 165 pounds or whatever, he's not afraid to go over the middle.
No, not at all. Not at all. He ain't scared of no ghost.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he's nuts.
So
Devontae's arguably one of the best route runners in football.
facts.
No question.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't
Route
have
running.
like AJ has the size to go do a slant. And it's hard to go through his body to get to the football, right? Where like it's a little easier to go through Devontae's. So he's got like everything he does has to be a better route. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
He's got to just run better routes. So, but AJ runs legit routes too. So it's not like oh, AJ runs bad routes. It's not what I'm saying. It's just Devontae's got to run like elite routes because of his size.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think AJ Brown's the best receiver, but I think Devontae Smith is Hurts' favorite receiver just because of that route running. He always knows where he's going to be.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Just for timing, just the timely aspect of it.
Well, they're different, and I think that's why they play well together, right? Because you have to be different. Like you can't have two AJ Browns. I mean, you could. It'd be a great time, right? I mean, you're stopping that, but most teams don't build themselves like that because it really doesn't make sense. Like you want to have, like I think both guys can do all the same things, right? Like they're both 50-50 guys. They can both go up and get a football. Like it's not like one's just bigger than the other guy, but they are similar guys. But I think you allow them to sort of be different and do different things. Like where you see a lot more of the slants from AJ. Like AJ will go over the middle a lot more because he should. Like he's huge. We shouldn't be running Devontae on crosses all day just to say, okay, we'll play Russian roulette again today. Hey, Russian roulette again. What Vontae Burke hit are we taking?
Yeah.
The CT him for life, and now we got Antonio Brown, right? So
generational run.
Oh, AB,
he's on a generational heater right now.
How many guys hotter?
Oh,
he is funny as shit though.
He's fucking hilarious.
I mean, terrible teammate, horrendous locker room cat. Such an awesome wide receiver, right? Just such another great route runner.
Yeah. Oh,
and what a piece of shit. But hysterical on Twitter. I mean, a must follow on Twitter if you're in for a couple of chuckles a day, right?
Yeah. Oh,
but a total piece of garbage. But that's what we say. Like I say it all the time. Like NFL guys are never guys I want to have over for Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. Like, we're gonna have the freaking the defensive line over, like the linebackers over. Like those guys are psychopaths. I want them to be psychopaths.
Yeah.
Like I want these guys to be a little crazy in the head because they are. Like you ever tackle people? Like it's. I don't know.
You got to be nuts. You got to be nuts.
Yeah, like on the offensive side, it's not as much, right? I always say that. Like on the offensive side, like I played offensive side and defensive side at one point in my life, right? I wasn't a big fan of the defensive side, like because I had to end up being a lineman. Like if you told me to go play like safety, I'm all in. I love if I had the ability to go ball hawk. Yeah, love me some of that, right? Or corner, like there's skill positions, right, of the defense, sure. But if you're like the middle linebackers and defensive linemen are psychopaths. Like I don't know how many times I have to say that. Like you might meet a nice guy. He's the nice guys in the world, but he's got something wrong up here. To be able to go and say, I just want to go get rough and tough with somebody all day. Like think about that. You gotta be people say, oh, you gotta be a man, Tom. No, I'm a man. I'm not saying I want to live in the trenches all day. I want to go catch some passes. You know what I mean? I want to go make some plays.
It's kind of like a closer in baseball. You want him to have a little bit of a screw loose.
A little bit.
Like a closer in baseball. Yeah. And Antonio Brown, I've DM'd him before. I've been called cracker of the day.
He has been called.
You're not gonna be able to see
Let's
it.
Go.
I've been called.
Do it again. Do it again. Prove it to people. Go down a little bit. AB. Say it. Cracker of the day. Say it clear as day.
Cracker of the day. I was trying to get him on for a podcast. He said, "What's the budget?" And I was like, "What do you charge? What's the price? $100, 10 minutes?" He goes, "Cracker of the day." I said, "What's the price?" He said, $1K. $1,000 for 10 minutes.
What the hell?
$100 a minute for Antonio Brown's presence.
Hey, what am I doing wrong?
No, I told you to say you got the 1K. Give him the 1K. We'll give him the 1K. We'll give him the 1K. Let's get AB to 1K. Yeah, Edwin wants the 1K right now. Come on,
we need the chat. Chat donate a K. We'll get Antonio Brown on here chirping.
Right now. We'll get AB on right now. We'll Venmo him
A2
over to
A2D CTE Wednesdays, baby.
Cracker to Wednesdays.
He's a riot.
John,
All right.
like I said, John, you got screws loose. I know you. You know what I mean? You say it's fun. Okay, I'm not telling you it's not fun, but most people would prefer a skill position. Like, I'm not telling you football isn't fun. I love playing football. I'm just telling you, to me, like playing defensive line in 25-degree weather is not a great time. Like, to me, everybody's different, but you got a screw loose, Johnny. That's all. And you know you probably do. I mean, just admit it. You might be, John, you're the nice guy in the world, but doesn't mean there ain't a few screws loose up there. Come on. I play football. I know these types of guys. Like, I'm just trying to tell you the truth. I know these sick son of a bitches, and at this level, they're even sicker. I'm not telling you they're all axe murderers here. I'm just saying I don't need guys to bring over. Greg's heard this, and Noah's heard this more than Greg has. But I don't need the guys to come over and be like, "Oh, we got stocking for you. Good morning." That's the guys I'm looking for. Bring home the mommy and daddy. I'm looking for some savages. This game's a rough sport. I don't know where they Giants said, "Yep."
You're not going to win with 53 choir boys.
No, you got some psychos. I probably said psycho like 20,000 times, but way too many.
I mean, love them or hate them. Back in the day, what made the U so great? You know what I mean? Back when they were actually a relevant college football program.
Cocaine.
Wow.
Hell of a drug.
That, a Ponzi scheme, Devin Shapiro, maybe some strippers, the club scene, whatever. But
cocaine is a hell of a drug.
There's no doubt that there weren't too many choir boys on those Jimmy Johnson teams back in the 80s and so on and so forth.
I was just waiting for you to say convicts. I was just waiting. Essentially,
not all of them got caught,
No, but I mean, I'm saying that's what it is. Like, you got a bunch of convicts running around, like with they call it the 30 for 30, right? But essentially, you don't want to. You don't want a bunch of bad guys or bad teammates. Make sure you understand what I'm saying. Doesn't mean like a bunch of just guys running around. It could be a greatest teammate in the world, but have some screws loose on Sunday. That's the point. When the lights go on, I need you to be a psycho. I need you to just lose it. You got to lose your mind a little bit in those moments. In playing 60 minutes of football, you have to. Like, people like, get hit, hurt. Doesn't you don't feel it in the moment. Like, you'll feel like you would absolutely feel getting your clock cleaned, right? Like, you're going over the middle and night. Yeah, you're gonna feel that hit. But like, just getting tackled, you don't feel it because of adrenaline. You don't feel that crap to the next day. Hey, Mikey Buckets.
Mikey Valet.
Mikey Valet.
We accept tips.
Might put a valet out front. I'm contemplating it. And ask around. Bill says, would you guys agree the Packers are the toughest team we could have played besides the 1 seed in the playoffs?
No, I don't want to. I'd rather not see the Buccaneers again.
No, it's interesting because
if we can avoid it. I
didn't want to see Washington.
The Buccaneers, for the most part, are a pretty average to slightly below average football team, except when they line up against us. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but man, I don't want to relive Week 4 again. I mean, no. I would like to think it would be a different result if we were to see the Buccaneers and say the NFC Championship game at the Link. Yeah.
See, it's interesting because I totally agree. The Buccaneers just have our number. I don't think they're not even close to the better team. Although we have played them banged up. We played them with no Brown and no Devontae Smith, so I don't expect to win that anyway. But I want to pick Tom's brain about not wanting to see Washington because I'm the complete opposite. I would take Washington over Green Bay 10 times out of 10. Their second best receiver is Olamide Zaccheaus. I mean, think about that. I mean, I just think they're so much easier to game plan for. And the win against us was such a fluke with Hurts going out and Pickett coming in. And we still almost won the game. And also, it's hard to beat a team twice. So that loss, I didn't really mind it because if you had to play them in the playoffs, that we already lost to them.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
thought the same thing.
I'm sorry, not twice. Beat them 3 times. We'd have to beat them 3 times. That's hard to do.
You're spot on. And these were all things I felt. And that changed my mind the more I thought about what Daniels did to us. What his ability to do off script was the difference in that game. I agree with you. With Hurts plays, we win. I agree with you that it's hard for them to beat us 2 times in a row until it isn't, until it happens, until Washington comes in here and beats us at the link to send us packing. Oh, I know what that Sunday night looks like on Agree Disagrees only on A2D radio. I know what that feels like. So the more I thought about it, I was like, nope, they're banged up a little bit over there. That, no Jair Alexander, that's huge. That's a monster loss for them. Okay. And then Jordan Love, then, Watson going down. So more and more things happen that shifted me and said, nope, we got the matchup we wanted. That we got to go win a football game. Ain't nothing guaranteed, right? No matter what we say. But at the end of the day, I do think this was the better matchup because what that cat can do when everything breaks down and he gave us some fits running around with the football, that's what really started to make me nervous about them. Jordan Love's not going to run around on us. It's just not his MO. So that's where it's like, hey, I think for this week, even though, again, I don't like the rushing matchup of Jacobs, but Washington runs the football well too. So you take them sort of like even, they both run the ball. I'll take my chances with a guy that's not going to go rush for 75 when stuff breaks down and beats me when I have everything covered up. They're the killers. That's what sends teams packing. We have one of those guys. So that's why I think we're going to be going to a Super Bowl. But
yeah. And just for the flip side of that, just for the sake of argument, I just think, didn't we have 5 turnovers in that game when we played Washington?
No,
I don't think Jordan
No,
Love.
We
worse.
created 5.
Well,
We
that's what I'm
forced
saying. Well, that's
5 turnovers and
that's
gave
what I'm
up
saying.
36 damn points.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I meant. Like, we created 5 turnovers.
Right.
So, like, I'm not. How scared am I of? I don't think Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love are going to have 5 turnovers.
I don't think that Washington would do it again. You're counting on that happening again. I don't count on that happening again because that's going to be a point of emphasis on their end. Doesn't mean they don't turn it over once or twice, right? But listen, I just get worried of that. I get worried of the young QB, the young up-and-coming guy, and division rival.
The league wants to push.
Yeah, it's just a harder game. It's a tougher game the more you really think about it. But this game's hard too. Like neither one of these games what I call a layup line, even though I got 34-21. That's more me talking to existence more than what I really think it probably will end up being. Because I
just wanted to send Josh Harris home sad and get back on the basketball floor.
Until he sends us home sad, and then we're going to drive all the way to Center City. You know what I mean? So, there's the devil's advocate to both. Even though I don't disagree, Mike, with anything you said. Like, nothing you said's wrong. It's not, because that's how I felt. Like, I think Bill obviously was with me.
Well, like last year, I don't think Green Bay was a true number 7 seed when they went in and destroyed the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be honest. I don't think Green Bay's team this year is as good as last year's team was. I don't think they've beaten a winning team this year, have they? They were 1-5 against the NFC North. I'll be honest. I love this matchup against.
Yeah, I agree. They've been good, but they haven't been as good as I thought they were going to be.
Correct.
Right. This was a football team, in my opinion. Sorry, Greg, that I just thought was going to compete for this division. And Sam Darnold gave had a better opportunity there than obviously the Green Bay Packers, who got better this offseason.
Yeah, and plus we played them, right? We played them early on this season. So
Yep.
we know, like, I talked about it on Sunday. We know the intricacies that they're going to do with Jaden Reed, right? We're prepared for that now. We know that he is a weapon for them. Probably their only weapon outside of Josh Jacobs, but he's a weapon for them to take the ball to the house at any given time. So now we're ready for him. But no, they did beat a couple winnings team. They beat the Rams, they beat the Cardinals, they beat the Texans, San Fran, Miami, Seattle. So they beat a couple winning teams.
Name me somebody any good.
What's that?
No. It's the devil's advocate, that list, which is factual list, obviously, of teams with winning records.
Oh, and those teams, yeah, you're right. None of those are juggernauts.
Yeah, no.
And I'm sorry, San Fran doesn't actually have a winning record.
No, I didn't
What,
think so.
the Cardinals finished with a winning record?
They're like it. Yeah, I think so.
Dude, don't
Did
get me
they?
started on the Cardinals. Kyler Murray is the biggest fraud in the world.
Oh, 8-9. All right.
Every year we hear about Kyler Murray.
They were
Did the Dolphins finish with a winning record?
Maybe not.
Because you said them too. I don't know if they did either.
No, they did not. They didn't. They lose.
8-9
They
also.
lost. They lost.
Just
to the
quick.
Jets.
I didn't look, so I just like, they're right around 500.
I was
Oh,
just
they lost
laughing.
Tyreek Hill.
It's funny. We
They
gotta
lost.
go. We gotta go over the list again. Now we gotta go over it again.
Yeah.
Rams, Houston, bang.
Okay.
They lost Tyreek Hill.
Rams and
Dolphins.
Houston, and we
Because the
spoke
list
the
was
Rams.
long, I got nervous. I started sweating. I'm like, how do I sell this?
Well,
thing?
I mean, like I said, Arizona, Miami, they're all 500.
Well, hey, one of you brought up Tyreek Hill.
Seattle's got a winning record.
You heard his post-game presser, didn't you?
That's what I was saying, Noah. They lost this game. They lost that game. They lost Tyreek Hill. He's out. He's gone.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out.
Doors open.
Sign me up.
Another great.
Come on, Howie, make a call.
What's funny though is, yeah,
Never
they
have
should make a
enough.
call.
Never
Because-
have enough talent. Make a call.
They absolutely should make a call because I saw something and it's so
Hey,
true.
why not?
You can't leave winning for money and then complain you're not winning.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
I mean,
He left winning for the dollars, and now he's complaining he's not winning.
well,
Doesn't compute.
let's face it. I mean, he's got all the talent, physical talent in the world, but he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. When it comes to upstairs.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's in the shed.
I mean,
He made
he's,
it to the shed. So,
He's getting
That-
detained before games. He's getting detained. He's not rolling his window down.
he couldn't find.
He couldn't find the window button.
He couldn't find the window button.
$3.5 million car. The windows don't work.
remember my first time driving.
He's got the crack windows.
Oh, yeah.
The crack's broken.
He's,
Yeah, that's the one thing though. Like, I don't like obviously beating them once because they could be saying that, internally themselves too. It was like their fan base, etc. Like, hard to beat a team twice, but it isn't when you're better. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think
and it was like a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was a
That's
Week
different
ones
country.
don't even count.
that's the overarching point is we're the better team. We are the better team in week one. We're the better team now. We're just the overall better team. So, I mean, I think this is the best matchup.
Yeah, I don't know. I think week ones don't even count. You don't know who you are as a defense. You got guys like Quinyon Mitchell. It's their first game in the NFL. Vic Fangio's getting used to the system.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're getting from Barkley. First play of scrimmage, Barkley falls over his own feet. I don't think he's done that yet since. So I just week one, I don't even think counts.
Well, he didn't do it too many times. He rushed for over 2,000 yards. So.
Yeah.
Went from tripping over his shoelaces to
Right. Kicking
2K.
ass, taking names.
Anthony, listen, I think I take Cunningham healthy over anybody.
He was special.
I'll take a healthy Randall Cunningham over a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
If only Buddy Ryan made him learn the playbook.
Yeah, I don't even think it's as much as that, right? I think it's he wasn't healthy,
Right.
right? We'd be 4-0 and he would get hurt every year.
Well, part of that is we had such shitty offensive lines back in the early 90s, you know?
Yeah, and he ran a ton too.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, he was running for his life. I mean, shit.
But I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. If you're like, yeah, I mean, Foles is awesome because like he won a Super Bowl. That's not what I thought the question was. You know what I mean? Like Nick can leave his kids in the middle of Broad Street. That conversation's been had. They'll be taken care of for the rest of their life. All right. This is how this. This is how this. But that's how this works, Greg.
No, I hear you.
All right. When you cut nets down and you're the first to do it, baby, and you slay the dragon, like he did. All right. In that Super Bowl, you leave all the kids in the street. We got them taken care of. All right. Taken care of for life.
373 passing yards in that Super Bowl that man had.
But that wasn't what I thought the question was. Cunningham, I just thought was
Cunningham's a better quarterback.
Yeah, he's better.
He's better in every aspect.
I'll take average healthy Randall because average healthy Randall is actually pretty elite. That's how I
Randall Cunningham had more than 6 quarters
of
a lifetime. The only problem is Nick's 6 quarters of his lifetime won a Super Bowl.
Well, you know, it's crazy. It's later in Randall's career when he kind of reinvented himself and had that magical 1998 season. Unfortunately, it was with the Vikings and not us. With
a couple goats.
You know,
couple show ponies. You know,
those are fun. We got ours though now, so we're good.
That's right. And damn it, we're gonna get another one.
Yeah, after this week, I'm really going to be puffing my chest. Like Sunday night, I'm yelling. I'm yelling Super Bowl. Can't wait. Or
we're crying.
Oh, it won't be crying. We'll be moving on from cats. It'll be one way or the other. Ain't gonna be no in the middle here.
Jake Elliott gone.
See it. Jalen Hurts gone. No, I was kidding.
Wonder why I can't shake the hater vibes.
Saquon gone. See ya.
What a waste of money. What a waste of money. This is why you don't pay running back.
Go for 95 yards.
This is why you don't pay running back.
Now, if he does some soft ass shit, it might be a different conversation. You know what I mean? You know, if I feel like he ain't running with a purpose, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna see a Sirianni argument with the crowd after this win this week.
We better not. Well, after the win or after a loss?
Nah.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Listen, I do to a degree. I don't even think he's trolling.
He's back out. He's back.
I don't even think he's trolling. Before they got banged up, like I don't disagree. Like when I saw Packers, I was like, damn, I'd rather the Commanders. Just my personal opinion.
What are you scared of?
Dude,
we're the best team in the NFL.
Jordan Love being hurt changes that narrative.
Is not good.
I'm saying changes that narrative completely. To say he's not good,
he turns the football over all the time.
Well, I just think it comes down to who's his number one receiver.
There is nobody.
Exactly. So I can't knock the guy.
What are you scared of?
I think it's a miracle he gets there. No, I just think it's a crazy matchup. Jacobs runs the football. Barkley runs the football. Like I said, I think chew clock is on. I think this game's an hour and a half. Obviously, it won't be, but I'm just saying. I think chew clock is on.
But we could score quick though, right?
I think
we have the weapons.
Jaden Daniels is a broken rib away from never playing again. He's RG3 2.0, and their second best receiver is Olamide Zaccheaus. I just would much rather play the Commanders.
You'd much rather play the Commanders, but we have a limited participant in practice in Jordan Love on a Wednesday.
Yeah, that changes the narrative. I'm saying when I first saw it.
Okay. Yeah, I had mixed emotions when I first saw it in a way, but the more I thought about who they really were this year and not getting caught up in who they could have been or who they what they were this year is what they are. I mean, they're good. They're not an elite team in the NFC. So what you have to do those types of teams, you have to bury them.
How do you guys think the other playoff games shake out?
Yeah, wait, hold on, real quick. I just think I don't know. I don't like going off of week one. Like I said, it doesn't count. But it's the first week we had our defense. First week we had Fangio. Like I get all that. I just said that. But I think it is crazy. They're the only team that gave our defense fits. Now, that being said, in the first quarter, they stood on their head when Hurts made mistakes early. If you remember, Greg alludes to that all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
But besides that, they gave us fits. Like they were moving the football. We can't say they weren't.
No, they were. They were.
What were you saying, Noah?
How specifically on the NFC side of things, how do you think the other playoff games shake out?
It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Rams game. Whether they keep that or move that, or that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I'd give the edge to the Rams there. I know Minnesota's had a great year, but they really laid an egg in Detroit, and I don't know if they bounce back from that, especially having to go out to the West Coast.
You got to, but there's extenuating circumstances with them laying an egg. Like right before game time, I posted a piece of video content that why Sam Darnold should be brought back to Minnesota Vikings from one of our shows. So like they were done from that point. Like they just couldn't. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? Like I just ruined that, and that's okay. I enjoy ruining careers. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting game. I
mean, Stafford has the obvious playoff experience. That's where I would give the Rams the edge. It'll be a close game, though.
Yeah, the one thing that brought back from that game against the Lions, though, was it looked like Sammy was seeing ghost again, right? So he had done so well not seeing ghost for a lot of his career, a lot of this year. And it looked like that, though, speaking of someone who's scared of ghost, that was brought back up in that game on Monday night or Sunday night, whatever night it was.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, prayers to the people in LA. I wouldn't be surprised if that game got canceled because 0% contained homes from the fires, which is crazy.
They just saw they were just looking at moving it, like not necessarily canceling it, just moving it because it's tough to cancel at this time of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I used the wrong words. Not moving it.
No, it's all good.
Not canceling it.
Probably move it to Arizona potentially, but
move it back to St. Louis.
It definitely does suck.
I think the Commanders-Bucks game is going to be awesome, just as an NFL fan. I don't have a dog in the fight. I really don't. I guess maybe I'd root for the Commanders just because I'd rather play them than the Bucks. But really, either way, I think we're better than both of them. I think part of the reason that the Bucks have had our number, like I said, they've played us banged up. They've played us with no A.J. Brown. They've played us with no Devontae Smith. And that plays a key role into having someone's number. They're also banged up. They don't have Godwin anymore, obviously, which I know that was a while ago, but they got Mike Evans and they got two good running backs. It's really all you got to settle down. So, and Quinyon Mitchell love going back and forth with them. So they don't really scare them. Either team doesn't scare me. I just think as an NFL fan, that game is going to be awesome. That's definitely a game I'm watching.
The last time we played them healthy, we beat them. Right? The last two times we lost to them. We didn't have A.J. Brown in the playoff game. That was when he was hurt, and we didn't have our entire offense in the second game or the game this year. Right. And one thing we brought up earlier, I think it was you brought up earlier, right? We talked about the defensive adjustments that Vic Fangio has made. Yep. Even though that game was an absolute dumpster fire. You could at least look in the second half and say the defense made adjustments, right? I think they only let up 9 points in the second half, right? So they at least made adjustments and showed some life. So it's fun. Like over the last couple of weeks, knowing that the Buccaneers might have been an option and everybody having the PTSD, because I was there but the more and more people who are worried about it, the less the PTSD I have over it, right? Like, it's almost cleared me out that, like, bring me the Falcons. Or I'm sorry, bring me the Bucks.
Yeah.
Bring me the Bucks. I want to see the Bucks.
I mean, don't get me
Because when
wrong.
healthy,
I
they
don't
can't
think
beat
they
us.
would hang. I don't think they're going to hang 33 on us again.
No.
By any stretch. And, like you guys were saying, with Godwin being out, is it me? I mean, Godwin is damn good, but is it me, or does it seem like every year his season ends early? Seems like he's hurt a lot.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
you.
And if we're doing this every year stuff, this is a random one, but every year I think Jacoby Brissett starts for some NFL team and he goes like 1-1 and then he doesn't start ever again.
Yeah, all the time.
Every year, Jacoby Brissett is starting somewhere.
Yeah.
It's a good gig to have.
Yeah.
It's a good gig. Guaranteed
Play 2
money.
games a year.
Guaranteed
I don't
money.
know where I pulled that out of, but it just made me think of it. Every year.
But yeah, give me I'll go give me Commanders Vikings.
You think they
Commanders Vikings. I just have a feeling Minnesota bounces back. Don't know why.
Well, I mean, they got plenty of weapons to do so, but I guess the biggest question is how will Sam Darnold? This would be his playoff debut, is that right?
Pretty sure.
Yeah. So
Don FS1 is a good gig. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, Tom said it earlier. I don't know if he said it on the show. Actually, I won't even quote him. I'll say it myself. I don't know if he wants this out there, but I think they do it for ratings. Like, I'm totally on that fence. That was a debate we brought up earlier. Like, I don't even know if it could be real, absolutely, but does this stuff just get leaked for ratings? Because I don't watch FS1 ever, right? But if I'm scrolling through the guide and I see it for shits and giggles, I might put it on.
Yeah, you may say, "Oh, there's what's going on."
There's no question that's where it's gotten to now. Yeah.
People love train wrecks.
Yeah.
People love it. A car crash, right? So,
yeah, I don't know. As far as the other NFC games, I got the Rams and Bucks moving on, but I think they're both gonna be close games. I mean, I think the Commanders will definitely give the Bucks a game too.
Are the Rams the best worst team in football?
yeah, probably.
Random question, but I just think like you could argue that they could go to the Super Bowl this year, or you could argue that they don't even deserve to be in the playoffs. And I feel like either argument you could have valid reasons.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of teams you can have that argument with, right?
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, you can have that argument with Baltimore every year. You know what I mean? Even as good as they are as a team in the regular season, you can have that argument with Baltimore every year.
Yep.
Yeah, Baltimore. I get into a debate with my cousins all the time. They're big Lamar Jackson haters, right? I'm a Lamar Jackson guy. Like, when your number one receiver is Rashad Bateman, and you constantly make the playoffs every year, and you only lose to people named Patrick Mahomes, I can't blame the guy for never winning the Super Bowl. I don't know how they don't have receivers. They got Deontay Johnson for like 2 weeks, and they shipped him out. They have Nelson Aguilar. Like, who is his receiver? Like, Zay Flowers. I get it. He's decent. He's like 4'11".
Yeah, and he's hurt. He's out hurt, correct?
He might play. He might play.
He might play.
Yeah.
Because I know he
Well,
got. I know
but
he
he won't
got
be
dinged
100%.
up against. I know he got dinged up against Cleveland.
Yeah, he won't be 100%.
I'll say this. I mean, I've always thought of Lamar as a pretty damn good quarterback. Obviously, all pro, yada yada yada. I think just from a pure passing standpoint, he's gotten a lot better this year. Just overall.
Yeah, and I think you can only be really so good. It comes to the people around you. He's got like a Mark Andrews. Hasn't been great. Like he really has nobody. When you think about the passing game, he's got Derrick Henry and he's got himself. He's got his legs, Lamar's legs.
Well, they've always been a team that's been kind of a run first, run oriented, ground and pound and play great defense, and that's kind of been their more or less their calling card. Granted, Flacco, lit up the scoreboard there and there. What was that there? 20? Oh, I might have the year wrong.
2012.
2012 run, yeah. So, but
I did see,
outside of that, a lot of Baltimore's success has been running the football and playing great defense.
I did see an interesting stat or timeline. Trent Dilfer won it first.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco won it 12 years later. This is 12 years from when Joe Flacco won it.
That is crazy. I mean, dude, I think you can go down every team in the NFL, though, and name a better receiver than the Ravens have. I think every team in the NFL's number one is better than the Ravens. So that's why I never liked the Lamar hate. I mean, you can think of just bad teams. Their number one is better.
Close.
Well, definitely.
I mean, it depends what you think about Flowers. Right. It depends what you think about Zay Flowers. Right.
Yeah,
how many
I mean,
guys?
I like Zay Flowers, but
yeah, it's like, but again, if you went through every roster, like how many, like we'd have to go through everyone and see, like, all right, taking Zay, taking their number one.
Yeah.
But I don't disagree with you. They don't have like.
I mean, you could. I mean, the Cowboys stink. I'm taking CeeDee Lamb over him any day. You could go down. I'm taking Malik Neighbors on the Giants. Giants stink. I'm taking him over Flowers. Mike Evans, Mari Cooper, Jamar Chase. I'm just reading teams. I don't know. I don't know why we're talking about Zay Flowers.
Would be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens if they do have another early exit, though, because it might be the end of John Harbaugh or Jim Harbaugh. I don't know what Harbaugh it is. But it could be the end, right? Just hasn't won a big game in a long time. Did a lot of good things there, but just hasn't won recently.
Well, I don't think there's any way in hell they lose to Pittsburgh. I mean, they've been awful the last 4 weeks of the season.
They have, but it's the playoffs.
Right. And I mean, it's a division.
And they usually have their number.
Yeah. But
they play them it doesn't make any sense. You're right. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they split the season series. I get that, but Pittsburgh won the matchup when they were playing much better and off to their 10-2 start and whatnot.
I mean, you're talking about a 9.5-point spread right now. I mean, give me those points. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a full-out blowout, but
yeah,
I don't think it's going to be a slaughter. But I definitely think when it'll be one of those games where Baltimore maybe wins by a touchdown, but you'll look back and say, "Wow, how come they didn't win by 2 or 3 touchdowns?" It'll be clear that Baltimore dominated the game.
Sure,
except on the scoreboard. But yes, I know that's where it counts the most. But
yeah, I think I'm gonna have. Back to that conversation. I think I'll have the Rams going on and Tampa.
Rams, Tampa.
Yeah, same here.
I almost went there. Tampa upsetting. Technically an upset, right?
Yeah.
Even though, it's not even an upset. They're -3 at home. I thought it was in Washington. I totally forgot that.
It's in Tampa.
Right. The Bucks won the.
Hop in the car, Greg. Go to a playoff game.
Yeah, was I there? No, can't remember if I was there last year or not. In the playoffs, I was there for. No, it wasn't the playoffs. I was there for the Monday night game where we won.
Oh, okay.
We come back. We come back here down here next year. We played Bucks on the road again. Bucks on the road again.
Road trip.
I'm here.
What month?
Greg, super random late night thought.
It's not announced yet, Tommy. They just know obviously who the games are.
That's right. Yeah.
Greg, super random.
I might be
late
making
night
a
thought.
bunch of trips, so Tommy might be diming me out next year.
You know why? Do you know why you're Disney World and not Disneyland?
I saw this and I forget it.
because it's ORL in World, so you're
Yeah,
Orlando
I did see
and
that.
Land's
Yeah.
LA. Learned that like 3 days ago, and I'm just mind blown.
I did see that recently, and I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah. I
It
heard
tracks.
that one. I heard one that not too long ago. Yep.
But yeah, it was only recently though, Mike. So
Oh man, Baker versus Goff, Lamar versus Mahomes. That'd be crazy. Don said, "Wait, I didn't know that." I'm telling you, it's not like common information. I feel like no one knows that. Disneyland's LA because it's land, LA.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
What's cruel and
yeah.
stupid is the astronomical prices that it costs to go down there. Good Lord.
yeah, it's
Can't
stupid.
wait.
It's stupid.
Oh, you
Stay
taking the kids, Tommy?
Stay
Yeah,
away. Don't come down here.
I'm taking the kids, but this isn't my doing.
Yeah, I got you.
This is Grandma and Pop-Pop's doing. This isn't my doing. I'm good. We go like 27 straight all inclusives. You know what I mean? As a family. All right. We could drive cross country 100 times. 100 times. We see the whole world. All right. Whole world. But no. We gotta have a meet and greet with Mickey for 10K. Just to walk in. Just to say hello.
Yep.
And that's
Put your
at the
Mickey
world
Mouse
or the
ears
land.
on. Collect your pins.
Collect my pins. Make sure you pay some of the credit card off before you head down.
Get a little extra room in there.
Get the lube ready.
Oh, definitely need a lube.
Yeah, you want me to just have my neighbor dress up as Mickey and they'll do it. They'll pretend to be Mickey for free. Jesus Christ. 10K.
I don't know if I trust your neighbors, Noah.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like if your neighbor's that willing to just dress up as Mickey, I'm probably out on the neighbor. You know,
Around kids, yeah, probably not dealing with that guy.
well, we could have this whole conversation about Disney World. We're not gonna do this tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, David, the next time COVID hits.
Don't worry. We'll have another pandemic in a year or two.
That's the only way I can answer that one, buddy. I hate to bust everybody's bubble on this one, but yeah, that's probably sadly never going to happen again. Where we're getting everybody in the studio. Those days were fun for sure.
They were fun.
Miss them.
I went to a broadcasting school in Cherry Hill, and like I have like 24/7 access to a studio.
No, the same school that me and Noah went to.
Yeah, you guys went at different times.
But what school did you go to?
Same one you went to.
What, Connecticut?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there too.
Yeah. A waste of money.
100%.
Oh, I'll say it. I don't give a rat's ass. I
will say I got an interview with 97.5 and I made it to like the final interview. And it had nothing to do with the school. The guy that runs it just never answered. Like he was like, yo, having a final decision by the end of this week. I had another Zoom interview. I had like 4 or 5 Zoom interviews in a row. And this guy just never answered, the program director. I think he got like fired or just got let go. I just never heard back. But I had a 3-month interview process for this producer job. Literally for the best show ever. Vitalico, Tyrone Johnson, the whole nine. I was going to be the producer for it. And I had like a 3-month interview process. And then the guy was like, yep, we're final decision next week. It's coming. I was emailing the guy back and forth. He would answer me every time. Never heard back. I was like, bro, if the answer is no, the answer is no. I'm cool with it. But I just need to hear from you before I look for another job. And that's when Sean Guida hit me up. That's how I got the other job. That's how I landed here.
All works out.
Did you a favor.
Did you a big favor. You don't want to be there.
Nah.
Trust me when I tell you that. I thought I wanted to be there. I didn't want to be there. Right where it's supposed to be.
Yep.
But yeah, I went to that school. Like I said, all it did was give me connections of people I started doing shows with here. Noah being one of them. So That's all it did for me. It allowed me to create my own thing. You didn't see me on the wall there. You know what I mean? When they take me down, they take me down on the wall there because I was on the wall. You know what I mean? As I should be. But they might have heard me say some things. You know what I mean? Because things have been said. I'm sure through the decade, of course.
What? They renamed the broadcasting school after you.
Yeah,
Tom Arnott Advanced Media.
yeah. Did the fish man get upset about something?
Is he still there or no?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I wish him well. I wish whatever he's doing. Hopefully he's happy and healthy.
No, I don't think he's there.
Yeah, I don't. So, I mean, I do wish him like health and happiness for sure, but I don't give a shit if he's doing well. You know what I mean?
I wish him health and happiness, but I don't give a shit if he's healthy and happy. If he's healthy,
if he's healthy and happy, good. I just don't give a shit if anything else. I care less if he's living out of a freaking suitcase in a Motel 8
in Disney World.
Yeah.
I got a text that said, "What the freak are you guys talking about? Disney or Mickey Mouse and lube?"
Oh yeah, bend over. Get the lube ready. Not for anything. Not for anything disrespectful besides the prices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not telling me Mickey's gonna have a good time with me when I'm sleeping. You know, Mickey sneaks in. I don't trust anything.
$17 turkey legs.
You'd be surprised at all the stories you hear about Disney characters.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all. Would you be surprised? Anybody that
don't count on the fact that Disney did full background checks on their employees, all right?
Well, let me tell you this. Anybody who's like dying to be a mascot, in my opinion, I would not trust around my children, and I'll leave that at that.
How does that work also? Like, is there mascot tryouts? Like, how did Gritty become Gritty? Like, do they just work their way up? Like, do you go from the minor leagues to, oh, now it's my big shot at the Flyers?
Actually, I think so.
Well, we used to work with someone at this station who might be able to answer more about that.
I, again, want to allow them around my kids. So, goes for, I'm not, this isn't like, oh, Tom, you're out of your mind. No, I'm not. Like, I'm not saying that there's not good guys out there. That's not what I'm always saying. I would say 95% I don't want around my kids ever. Good number. Solid, hard number. I feel very confident about that. There's 5% out there. You know, like the Fanatics vibes recently. So he's my, the Fanatic. Maybe he's a good guy, hopefully. I want to trust him taking Mike to the bathroom. Buckets. Like, I want to trust him being like, hey, Mike, you gotta go. You bathroom? You want to take a walk to the bathroom with me? I gotta go. You gotta go. Like, I want to be, hey, Mike, I want to go. A lot can go on in there.
I don't care if it's a Fanatic's birthday and Phoebe's there.
Can't have it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think I'm not fully going there, right? I'm not guaranteeing the touch. I'm just saying that I don't trust them. And if you do, that's all credit in the world. People let anybody watch their kids. You know what I mean? People just love a night out. So people let anybody watch their kids. Me, I'm good.
Is there a mascot school?
I don't know that.
Like,
I don't know.
How does that work? You grow up, say, Mom, I want to be a mascot.
What are you going to come on next week dressed as Mickey Mouse? Jesus Christ.
Like,
getting ready for his tryout.
Like, I can't go with the Mickey. I can't. Like, oh, God. I want to be that when I grow up. What? I want to be a dog and pony show? That's what you want to be? You want to be a dog and pony show?
That's the worst mascot. The dog.
Just ask the loser in Philly how he did it. The one guy in Philly who wants to be all paint up in his face, and you trust that guy around your kids? I'll be the first to say, absolutely not. Are you kidding me? Are you going through all that work? You ready for a game like you're playing? We're not doing this again tonight, but I'm just saying.
Face paint fairies.
I'm not saying that.
Good Lord.
No, the worst mascot's the dog. The Sixers, the Franklin the dog. What the hell is that?
Who's he?
And the funniest part, they got rid of hip hop because he scared children. Nobody wanted to bring their children on hip hop. The kids were crying. They were going home to the games crying. Hip hop was scaring them. They'd whistle at him. He let right in the kid's face. He's whistling at kids to come on over to him, luring them over. They got rid of hip hop.
He's a van away.
Yeah.
Van away from being a problem. What are you hiding? That's
They didn't just get rid of hip hop. They got rid of the black Sixers jerseys. They got rid of the whole jersey, the whole throwback black jerseys. They got rid of hip hop. They got rid of everything. Put fire on the evidence.
Oh my God,
man.
Yeah, so great show. Not a lot to really go over Sixers, outside of like we just mentioned. Franklin.
Just a borderline dumpster fire. That's all.
I will say
they are a dumpster fire.
It will never happen because Pat Riley wants nothing to do with Paul George, but I would get Jimmy Butler tomorrow. I would drive him to Philly. I'll go to Miami and drive him here. I would ship Paul George, whoever the hell they want. I don't care. Make it happen. It can't happen. It won't happen, but I would do it in a heartbeat.
It's the only way you can re-sign Yabusele.
Yep, exactly. I want Yabu back, and I just want some life. Paul George is too cool for school. Good guy. He can turn it on when he needs to. He's just too cool for school. I need a dog. I need you guys to go in there and blow it up when we're not playing how we're supposed to be playing.
He's going to blow it up. He already did.
Exactly. Maxey tries to be that guy, like the leader. He's just not. It's just not who he is. It's hard to listen to this, I don't know, to a guy who's just came into the league. Another thing is, I don't think we're going to have an all-star. Look at the Sixers roster right now and tell me who's going to make the all-star team. I don't think one of them does. The ballots just came out for like the predictions, like the mocks. Maxey was number 8 for the backcourt. I don't think we have a single all-star this year, which is crazy.
Mock all-star ballots.
Not mock, whatever it was, like the rankings.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
He was, yeah.
I didn't even know those were a thing.
He's number 8. I don't think we're gonna have a single all-star this year. Just sad.
Well, even if we did, they'd probably rest, load management.
Yeah, they wouldn't play.
I mean, we haven't played a back-to-back, and we are guys missing games anyway.
What are they? What, 2, 3, or 4 games out of the fucking play-in tournament?
Oh,
I'm telling you, we gotta open up a speakeasy, the play-in tavern. We'll be there.
Yeah, 1 game out. They're one game behind the Bulls.
One game out. Woo! Get your popcorn ready.
Should be on a nice little couple game winning streak, but we had to sit everybody.
Yeah, load management.
It's actually not true. We didn't play Joe. But
yeah, Joe. Everybody, we sat everybody today, and we won because the Wizards are terrible.
Terrible.
We almost lost. We went down 2 with like 4 minutes left.
We did almost lose that game too. So, but they didn't. They hung on, and now they play again Friday night.
Yep.
Who's Friday? Orlando.
Yes. Friday. No. Hold on.
No, Sunday's Orlando, right?
Yes, because that's the away game. New Orleans.
Also, I'm getting sick and tired of Kyle Lowry acting like a coach and being in the face of Nick Nurse. I mean, can you imagine Tom as a coach? Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care how many tournaments I've won with you. This kid in your face, putting coach on his shirt, in your face every play, every timeout, every stoppage, telling you what you should do. Sit the hell down. It just drives me nuts.
That's his role. He can't do anything else. He can't play anymore.
Or retire or become an actual coach. Get paid to be a coach. I don't need you as a player acting like a coach, getting in the face of people. This is the best part. Who did we just lose to recently? Sacramento. I believe it was Sacramento. But he was in the face of Nurse telling him he's got to do this, that, and the 5th. Then he finally gets checked in for an inbound pass after a timeout. There was a timeout. We drew up a play. He was the inbounder, and he turned it right over. Sit the hell down.
Elliot's right.
I'm sick of him.
We've been talking Sixers on ATD for 7 years now.
Elliot is spot on.
Expecting happiness. Might have been the Suns game. That's when we lost.
It was.
That.
Thank you, Doc. Yeah, it was the Suns. It's the Suns game. You're the
But he
face
did
of
that.
their
He did that in other games too. He's done that. In
Yeah,
other
He
games.
might have done it in the whatever game that was.
In that game too. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
think
it was the
everybody-
Suns. He's right.
I think everybody choked that game.
Just so funny. He's up in the face every single play, every single stoppage. Do this,
Yeah.
that, and that. Hey, what about this? And then he comes in the game. He turns the ball over.
He's in his
Sit
shorts. He's literally in his shorts. He's in his shorts from tip off. And it's like, oh, calm down.
Like, how is that allowed? Like LeBron doesn't even do that. He'll do it time to time. He doesn't do it as often. Like, it's
Well, he must be really
Yeah.
smart then.
They obviously have that relationship.
Yeah, but he must be really like
Well, they won a championship together, which I get.
no, but he
But
must
you
be
gotta
really
understand.
intellectual. He's got to be really intellectual in what he's saying, and for them to be like, yeah, we respect it. We want more of it. We're not gonna have a problem with it. Like it's different. Like you're asking me, like if like a 17-year-old kid started wanting to coach, calm down. All right, but at this level, it's obviously different.
Yeah, but you want to be a coach, be a coach. You want to be a player, then you're a player. Figure it out. I don't need you in my face.
No, I get it. Trust me, I get it. But they obviously have that relationship, and like we said, to add on to that, he must not be a blowhard. He must be have some substance to what he's talking about.
Right. Yeah.
It's just my guess. So one reason it probably hasn't been handled. Makes sense? Like I feel like it would have been addressed if it was a problem, or they thought it was detrimental to the team in any way, or any of that kind of shit. So I look at it as like, okay, it's we don't.
I just think
it. Yeah,
I
you
think
don't
it's
like it. I get it. Yeah,
yeah. It's just as deep as they're buddy. They won a championship together. I just think that's point blank.
Well, that's a start. That's always a start to it. But that could be buddy with you all day and win a championship with you. But if you're just talking the talk and there's no substance in what you're saying XO wise, and get out of my face. We would have already had that combo. Before you even put the coach on your shirt, we would have cleared the air on this one.
And it's really a shame that Jared McCain gets hurt. Like the injury plague of rookies in this era of Embiid is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Like I think Maxi's the only one that missed it and skipped it, but Doc Rivers refused to play him for that entire season until the playoffs rolled around against the Hawks. So like he didn't really even play. Like this injury plague of rookies that we've drafted is unbelievable. You got a guy like McCain tonight against the Wizards. He's gonna have 30, and we're not sweating out this game. But yeah, I do think that obviously they need Embiid and George. Your star guy is supposed to get you 25 a night, minimal. That's 50 points a game you're missing when they don't play, which is obvious. But when you get to the playoffs, will they score that 25? And if they do, and the role players play how they've been playing, because how it's built on paper looks amazing. Daryl Morey did a hell of a job. I still think the missing link is getting a second ball handler because Maxi's really not a true point guard. He's a hell of a scorer. He can play point guard, but at the end of the game in clutch time and in crunch time, you need two ball handlers on the floor to break the press, not turn the ball over. I still think that's the missing piece. And it doesn't have to be a stud. Like a guy like TJ McConnell would be great. Not that Indiana would do it, but a guy like that off the bench would be perfect.
Well, you're correct. I also think Joel solves a lot of that if he's playing and if he's healthy. Right?
But he's not bringing the ball up through a press.
No, but he could be an outlet right over half court. You know what I mean? He could be in the outlet there when you're, at half court, right? So while I completely agree with you, that is a huge need and desire at the deadline or whatever, right? But I also think that we just have to understand that when Joel's not on the floor, we're not the same team that we are when we're in theory built, right? Because he masks so many issues that plague this team right now when we're playing without him. You know what I mean? Like late in the fourth quarter, we're sporadic on offense, obviously because your best player is not there, right? Turning the ball over in the backcourt, and he's done it plenty of times, but he does bring that sense of calmness to that portion of the game.
Yeah, but this is deeper than tonight. I'm not talking about this matchup in particular. I've seen it time and time again with Embiid on the floor. I mean,
it's true.
Boston,
Yeah, we have.
Christmas Day against Boston was a prime example. You're up by 9, they hit a 3. You're up by 6. You turn the ball over because you inbounded it to Embiid 94 feet from the basket.
Yeah.
Now you're only up 4. Timeout. That Knicks game, Maxey turns the ball over. Kyle freaking Lowry misses a free throw and turns the ball over. Doesn't call timeout. Like you need the second guard. You need the second ball handler because all you have to do is send 2 at Maxey late in the game, even if Embiid's on the floor, because he's not bringing the ball up like in a press situation. Like when you're not in foul mode, obviously Embiid's going to shoot the free throws, get him the ball, they'll foul him, he'll hit the free throws. But when you're in the 2-minute drill and you're not intentionally fouling yet, Embiid's not bringing the ball up. So you need that second ball handler. All you have to do is trap Maxey right now, and he's lost. He's going to fall over. Like I can picture it in my head replaying 100 times over. There's so many games where he gets trapped and just falls over his own feet. So I think that's the missing hole right now is the ball handler. And obviously your 2 stars being stars. Embiid, when the playoffs roll around, Embiid's going to give you 30. He does it whether he stinks. That's what's so great about Joel Embiid. He can score 30 points and have a terrible game. He did it the other night. Like he had 30 points, and I'm like, wow, he played awful. And I'm looking at the box score. I'm like, he still had 30 points. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he'll give you 30 on an off night. It's that second, third punch that needs to step up. And Maxey usually will, but Paul George scares me. You need 25 from each of your stars. They do that, then the only missing link is the second ball handler.
Yeah, and obviously some more sides maybe. But that's obviously priority number 1. But well, it's been a great show. Let's get out of here before it gets to 1 a.m. We love you all. Enjoy the birds this weekend. Let's hope Sunday.
Go Birds. Let's go.
Elliot, have a good trip when you come over here, brother.
Grant Calcaterra legacy game, baby.
Here it is. Here it starts. This is when it begins. All right, everybody. Go Birds.
We are.
We'll see you Sunday night.
We are.
A2D radio.
Yeah. Yeah.